It's now the time of year where people are filled with fear. The frights will voyage to the woods of Raleigh, so that their new lives scaring will be jolly. The clown and the ghost and Jason would roam in search of a new group of kids to scare home. The clown was always in search of an old friend, but never found him to make amends. So then he decided to find someone new, but none of the people wanted him. Would you? The ghost was not nearly as kind, and he seemed to scare kids right out of their mind. He used to be a very kind fellow, but now his temperament isn't nearly so mellow. He can't find a place in the land of the living, but the people he found were never forgiving. Jason, too, was once a great guy, but when he got scared by the ghost that went by, he used to roam the streets of his hood, but now he doesn't do anything good. These three creatures are all on a search to find some new kids on which to research. They wanted to know the best scaring tactics and find the best kids who were afraid of their attics. Each creature will get to tell their best story, and the best one will get all the glory, as well as the chance to be the first to quench their scaring thirst by getting the honorable delight of scaring the first kid on Halloween night.
The clown lived a tough life prior to his voyage. No matter what he experienced, he had courage. The clown is entering this pilgrimage to accomplish his goal. He will look to scare many souls. South Carolina has supplied great scares, but he looks to become their heirs. He has decided to leave that scaring hub, leaving South Carolina, looking to scare a scrub. This new experience will develop him greatly. The young child will be baited and scared. He will be so petrified he won't be able to grasp for air. He looks for the fear on the little boy as he gathers his lollipops and toys. The boy has no chance against this clown, for he, the clown, owns this town. The clown aspires to be the greatest, but in order to do it, he must scare the latest. The clown had a tough life back in the day, but he will make all those who hurt him pay. The other clown, ghosts and men stand no chance against this heathen. As the clown makes his journey, he looks to prove himself and win the tourney. Whether it be giving the best tale or simply scaring all without fail, the clown looks to win it all, never once dropping the ball.
Once a man of many talents, Jason is now frightfully unbalanced. He no longer controls his crazy rage and scares the life out of any age. He came on this journey to find new friends, to scare more kids and tie up loose ends. Most of his life he was just a good guy, but now he finds fun in being sly. The ghost was the reason he lost his mind. To this day, the two aren't kind. He was playing hockey in the street when the ghost came, him to meet. Jason was not ready for such a scare, and his rage was very rare. But on that night, the fright had changed him. He began to feel anger, and it wasn't dim. Maybe a therapist could have helped, but for Jason, the cure was a yelp. The yelp from every crying kid, all the kids from which he hid, in order to jump out when the time was right, to give the kids such a great fright. Jason now scares as often as he can, to help him with the fright from which he ran. He must make the journey to find more kids, so that his anger at the ghost can be rid. As he scares and scares without any help, he will get the satisfaction from many a yelp. Once upon a time, in a town without rule, there lived in a house a most vicious ghoul. The kids in the town were always in fear that the frightful ghoul would come near. They still wanted to play their games, but they were wary outside, for the ghoul had bad aims. Each and every dark, scary night, the kids went to their homes to escape the fright. He had such a great ugly nose and skin from which pus would flow. He had gained too much weight because of the kids he ate. He never left the kids alone because he wanted to get in their homes. Why couldn't the ghoul pick on other monsters? Because he didn't have the guts of the other haunters. He was too afraid to find monster friends, so he stayed in the town, but no help did he lend. The kids were tired of living in fear, and thus one day decided to change gears. They hatched a plan to get back at the ghoul. They wanted to make him look like a fool. And after this plan, he would leave them alone. He would have to find other places to roam. The ugly old ghoul, who was always afraid, would have to find a new place to raid. The kids began to meet every night in order to make a plan for the fright. Their idea was to play outside, and then when the ghoul came in stride, they would all find a place to hide. In the confusion, the ghoul would wait, and then the kids would set the bait. The youngest would go out to the ghoul while the others waited to make him a fool. The bait would run off into the woods where the kids would be waiting under their hoods. The ghoul would chase the youngest kid where the others would wait for the time to get rid. The kids would all jump out from the trees, dressed as scary things that would tease. But when the ghoul came into the trap, he thought he had scared the young chap. But the ghoul was not ready for what was in store. He was too busy gloating about his score. When the kids came out and all yelled boo, the ghoul could not contain his poo. His ghostly white pants were stained with brown, and he ran and ran right out of that town. The kids had finally been just as grim and scared the crap right out of him. The town was now peaceful as before, and there was peace in all galore. The ghoul never really found a home. All he could do was continue to roam. His fright of the kids led him far away, and he never wanted to see the light of day. Eventually, the ghoul found a cave where he could scare bats and pretend to be brave. Not once again did he return to that town, and for the rest of his life, his pants stayed brown.
This is great.
I think that's good.
Okay, that's good.